Hello traders, good evening. I hope all of you have had a very good trading session today. And as we were discussing in the previous market analysis video, Nifty was weaker than Bank Nifty, and any shorting opportunity we would have to largely focus on Nifty. This is what I had shared in the video that I had shared yesterday evening. And as for the plan, we saw that Nifty was considerably much weaker than Bank Nifty, even though the moves were two sides. We were able to capture the short side of the move very well, capitalize on the short side of the move, and make a good amount of return today. I also shared my updates, the point where I took my entry with a stop loss. I, in fact, had captured uh, of more than a 4 hour trade, which is four times the initial risk reward trade in Nifty Futures Short, which I shared in my Telegram channel. The description is given in the link below. You can join if you haven't done. Moving on to tomorrow, if I look at the levels as from a volume analytics perspective for tomorrow, I see that between 16,600 and 16,625 is where the largest positions of today are present. Let me mark that. And since we marginally managed to close in this zone here, if you ask me if I have to look at the game plan for tomorrow, at this point of time, unless and until we break below this zone, I'll be not picking up any shots. Let's see what kind of opening we get. We had an extremely neutral close today, and tomorrow's opening, it would be very difficult to gauge tomorrow's opening as per the setups that I use. And since we had a neutral close today for tomorrow, and the neutrality is only from a closing perspective. For tomorrow, the way I would be working, the way I have planned my trades is that if we go below 16,600 level or we open below 16,600, it would be a clear shorting opportunity with initial reference of 15,560 levels, and below that I would be picking my trades on an hour basis. We do have the extreme end of a gap right around in this zone, and as you can see, even this is an area where quite some volumes are constructed. So this is an area I would be looking to track closely and see what kind of a pullback we get here if at all we start moving downwards from this zone. And once we venture into the gap, then I wouldn't be making any kind of guesswork in the gap. As I say that there is no rule that says the entire gap has to be filled. So I would rather be looking, let's say we get into the gap and we start to bounce off, I would be looking if the long volumes within the gap, this area is more than the initial selling volumes that have come here. Until that happens, I will not be looking to pick any longs. To the long side, if we manage to hold off the price band of 16,625 to 16,600 at the open, and we see price accepting this range and starting to move up, then that is when I would put on a long trade. And at this moment, if at all I want to see momentum coming into the markets, I don't still see heavy shorts being built in either Nifty or Bank Nifty. This is merely profit booking that we saw, as this is something we discussed yesterday, that from a volume analytics perspective, I don't see large shorts being built in either of the indices at this point. We still need to wait, and the weightage of evidence shows me that on a short-term basis, on a positional basis, it is longs who are still in control of the market. So any pullback, any fade-in move that we see is profit booking at this point of time. Even today's move was profit booking. Sure, you can trade that on an intraday basis. The risk reward is good, and the move is quick. That's all good. But do not be short in the markets from a positional perspective at this point of time. 16,600 is the first reference that I'm looking for tomorrow. Let us open below that, or let us break down below that and continue to move down. And based on the location where we close, we will review once again if there are any large shorts that are coming into the markets at that time. There is no need to guess at this point, and we can stay with the trend, especially this is for positional players. Stay with the trend at this point of time. As of now, if we open above this level or market breaks out, that is accepts this particular zone of 16,600, 625, that is when I look to put on along, with initial reference being again today's high would be my first reference, and then the recent pivot high that I'm looking at. Now, how to approach this from a positional long perspective? I've been getting these questions. Is it a good area or is it a good location to enter positional longs? As I said, for now the trend is to the upside, but identifying the direction, identifying the trend is only one part of the game, guys. Just because the markets are moving up or the markets are moving down, we cannot take long and short uh, entries at any point of time as in how we like it. It doesn't work that way, because apart from direction, the location of your entries is something that determines your success in trading to a large extent. The location where you put on a trade, because that will give you that determines the kind of risk reward that you get, the kind of positions built on either side, who would be defending in case of an opposite move coming into play. Not because they are our friends, not because large players are our friends, but because if we take a position closer to the area where they have built their own positions using limit orders. I even shared a tip with regards to limit orders and market orders in Telegram today. If we take entries somewhere near their positions, then we offer ourselves a very good probability of success, and the location, the reference area being defended. As of now, even though the short term trend is up, I do not see any potential location for us to take a long entry at this point of time, unless we go above 16,760 levels, which is the pivot high, or if I see fresh long volumes of large players coming in at the current reference level. If that happens, I will update you. And if I talk about positional shorts, the simple reason being the direction is still long, the longs built at lower levels is more than the shorts, and I do not see any fresh large shots coming in. Don't take a short trade at this point of time. Moving on to Bank Nifty, as we discussed about Bank Nifty yesterday, Bank Nifty is the stronger of the indices when compared to Nifty. If I have to look at the important reference for today, where the good amount of volumes were built in Bank Nifty, it is 36,570 to 36,470 level, which I would be watching out for tomorrow. Again, until and unless we break down below this area, I will not be looking to put on any kind of short trade in Bank Nifty. And if at all the index tomorrow indicates a downside movement, Nifty, again, as I said, Nifty is looking a little bit more weaker than Bank Nifty at this point of time. So if you take a short trade in Nifty, then the ease of the move that can come in Nifty, the way price would move without much difficulty through the path of least resistance, is better in case of Nifty than Bank Nifty. So to sum it up, if you want to take short trades, then and market the trend tomorrow is will be, if it is down, then Nifty is a better instrument than Bank Nifty. And if you want to take a trade on the upside and the direction is up tomorrow, then Bank Nifty is a better instrument compared to Nifty at this point of time. If I look at Bank Nifty now, for example, in case of Bank Nifty, as long as we stay above 36,750, this particular reference, let us say that we test this area tomorrow and start to move up, then from a positional option writing perspective, then any strikes below 36 400 put options will offer me a very good risk reward, since we'll be having 3 days to expiry. We still have 3 days to expiry. To the upside, the reference that I'll be closely watching is the place from where we started dipping in the second half today, not the high. This is where the opening profit booking was seen. Sorry, profit booking at open was seen. So this is the area from where we again started coming down. So this is the place where I'll be looking. Once we see a breakout of this zone, then taking out this swing pivot high that we printed today will not be a big deal for Bank Nifty longs, and this area can easily be taken out. Again, as I said, it is a wait and watch scenario as of now. By all means, take intraday trades, but on a positional basis, especially as a directional trader on a positional basis, who's looking to take a position in future longs or future shorts or option as an option buyer, now is not the right time to take a position. Let's wait and see what volumes will suggest us. Let's wait and see if there are any fresh longs coming in, or if any large shorts are being created in either of the indices before we open a position and carry it home on an overnight basis. I hope this video was clear, folks. If yes, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It will really help motivate us, and it will motivate me to come up with fresh content, new content every day, and to guide you in the best possible manner. If you haven't joined my Telegram channel, please make sure to do so. As I said before, the link is given in the description. See you all tomorrow, bright and fresh. Thank you.